Yo, what's going on, everybody? I understand that it has been a very long time with no update on the car. Hopefully in this video and across the next couple of videos, I'm going to answer all of those questions for you guys. But yeah, this is me going to pick up my car and seeing it for the first time. So here we go.
All right, so as you guys know, it's been a while with no updates on the car. See that? No. Oh, look. Completely unlocked. What the fuck? The garage door doesn't even work. Oh, what do you know? The power is switched off. We love that. All right. How the fuck? Okay, hold on. What? What the fuck? If we just drove 5 fucking hours to a garage door that doesn't open. Oh, there you go. Now you can go record from the front. You gotta pull hard. Ta-da! Ha 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 ha. So as you guys can tell, looks very empty in here, doesn't it? A lot of stuff. Destin moved, and I found out about it a couple days ago. He texted me and said, "Hey, come pick up the car this weekend," a week ago. Like, I'm in the middle of fucking Florida, like I can't just come and get the car whenever. You know, I'm gonna explain the whole story of this entire thing later in this video, but right now, I have to get this piece of shit that I love and care about and put tons of work in, which if you guys have been on this channel for a long time, you know exactly how hard I've worked to do everything with this car. And yes, here we are. Shit, months later, like 6 months later. That was unlocked. Oh look, the keys are chilling here. Seriously. Can't even have the decency to be here to give me the keys to my own fucking car. Ridiculous. It's not gonna start, guarantee it. I will literally be amazed if this starts. Hold on. What? Hold on a second. What the fuck? What in the flying fuck is this? Whose fucking panels are these? These are not mine. Hold on a second. How do I even know that's the same fucking car? Bro, who's... The cladding was off the car. I took it off the car. It's silver. What is that? Okay, there's so many questions. It's really fucking cold, so we're gonna just do our best to fucking try and get this out of here. If this thing even has auxiliary power, I'll be amazed. Oh, it's... Dude, I'm so like... It sounds like my voice is shaky. It's because one, it's cold, but I'm also like really, really upset. Like this is heartbreaking. Shout out to Sam for coming and helping me jump this.
Hello.
Oh wait, the grill goes with it, doesn't it? We have some power. Wonderful.
I said one day this thing's gonna be in its full glory and like it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, I know. Just the amount of bullshit I have to fucking deal with in the meantime. Like, dude, like, how many things are gonna go wrong that are out of my control that I have to fucking pay for?
Right.
I literally have no understanding of whose panels those are, where they came from, why they're green. Dude, they don't even make a solid green LS. So if they are for an LS, those should still be silver.
Like a custom color then.
Yeah, I don't know if he maybe took mine and did like a test spray on them. Why?
And why green?
The door cards are in it. I mean, they could be my panels, who knows? There's 4 of them. They look like they're the right size. The chrome trim is right there. Like, dude, why do I have green panels? I'm not upset. Like,
no, it's just as bewildering.
that's very nice, but like, why am I not told about these things? They don't, even if you get a green LS, these are still silver.
Really?
All of them are silver.
Interesting.
What? If it was a test panel, why would he spray all of them? Why wouldn't you just spray one? I need some ibuprofen. Oh, dude, look, my fucking boost clamps that blew up from me taking 12 hours to get this thing here. You know how much shit I went through to get this thing here? I broke 14 of these in one night. I was on the side of the road for 12 fucking hours to get this car here for no reason. It was in fucking August, dude. You get to put an emoji over it and say barn find. Dead ass, dude. The Forza map fucking showed up and there was like some shit right there. It's like, oh, there's a barn find over there.
I just found this dude's project car. That's fucking mine now.
See, usually when you drop your car off to have somebody work on it and they bring it to their house, usually their home, like especially if you're gonna come pick it up. Well, it's not home. He does one better than that. He don't even live here anymore. Like, this house is empty. Empty. There's nothing in it. My car is the only tangible thing at this house anymore. And why was I told a few days ago? Just insane. Like, okay, you have my car and you have my money. Why am I the last person to hear anything about this? He knew from January 2nd. And so he could have told me, hey, this may or may not be happening. I'm trying to figure something out just to let you know. No, I was told 5 days before, or shit, I don't even know. I don't even know how long he's been out of this fucking house. But my car is the last thing.
Charger wheels, Dodge Charger and stock wheels.
Yeah, it's probably Jalen's shit. He scammed Jalen too. Oh, dude.
You're doing pink, right?
Dropping new merch.
It's a Nike.
Just do it. Or in Destin's case, don't. He texted me the other day, like, dude, because I've had to blow him up to fucking get anything out of him. And so eventually he like finally came out and said that he knew January 2nd that the house was going to be sold and he had till the end of January to move out. Right? You'd think that he would like, you know, reach out or whatever. And I get that he was trying to figure some shit out, but at least let me know so I have an idea.
You're still responsible for the property that is in your garage.
Dude, January 19th, last Thursday or Friday, I think Thursday, I get a text saying, hey, I can't do the car, like my life's gone shits up, like the landlord's selling the house, like I can't do this, you can come pick it up this weekend. I'm like, I'm 500 miles on my way to Florida right now. What do you want me to fucking do? I'm like, I'd try to reason with him. I was like, is there anything that we can do? Can we figure something out? Because I've given him the benefit of the doubt like a million times over. I've defended the fucking kid and just like stood by him, like, because I know that he can do good work. He's capable. It's just he can't handle fucking business. He can't handle finances. And it's just like, dude, when people go out of their way to try and help you, and you continue to screw them, like, all you have to do, right? If you're going through shit in your life, you're struggling with stuff, you're having a hard time, money sucks. All you have to do is communicate that, and other reasonable human beings like myself will fucking understand. Like, hey, I don't have any money right now, I'm going through some tough stuff. Like, I know that he was going through some shit with his job, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt with that. And so I wasn't bothered that the car got moved here. But then when it's like, you ignore me for 4 fucking months, I text you all the time and I get nothing, And then all of a sudden out of the blue, you're just gonna fucking text me and be like, hey dude, I can't do the car, my life's all fucked up right now. It's like, dude, why wouldn't you just tell me that your landlord's trying to sell the house and I can figure out somewhere else for this to go, and if you still can't do it, it's whatever. But you tell me like a few days before, like shit, at that point he could have already moved out. He could have already been gone, and he's just like, hey, the car's still there, just go get it. Like, unlocked with the key. I'm so glad that nobody knew the car was here, but I mean, I would have made this real interesting if it got stolen, honestly.
These One Piece Johnnies on the front don't look half bad, dog.
The AGs. They're actually my friends, and I feel really bad. Shout out to Michael for letting me use those. I physically cannot fit a wheel that is stock specs and has stock tires on it because of how aggressive the angles are. So shout out for him letting me have those. I'm gonna give them back to you like ASAP. No. Dude, I bought this battery a year ago to like move the car. Now I gotta go get another fucking battery again. I mean, if we can go to an AutoZone, I can probably fucking exchange that because I haven't used it.
Right.
Besides sitting in the car, so. Really don't have money to like buy a new battery right now. It's connected to the box.
That works. There you go.
Let's go get fucked. Oh wait, already did that. All right, so I bought a battery last year. Thankfully, I got a warranty, so I was able to just go and switch it out. Best case scenario. So yeah, hopefully it'll start now. And also, shout out to Wendy's for not giving us straws. They got everything else right in the order, which is amazing, but no straws. So I will cry if it doesn't work. Come on, baby. It fucking does this shit every time. Yeah, dude, fuck! I mean, it'd be a great drift car though. It already has solid bushings everywhere. See if it fucking drives. Great success. Skirt! It's definitely not bagged anymore. Yeah, it actually feels fucking great. I can barely see you through the windshield. There's so much dust on it. Okay. Titties! Disgusting! Hell yeah, brother! Oh wow, cool. It took my useless curtain rails off with it. That went smoothly. I should have done a fucking burnout. I'm sure the neighbors love it, but in my house, shit, ain't even Destin's anymore. Car's loaded up. Let's go home and I'll tell you guys this whole story. Tax.
Okay, so I could go super in depth about this entire story and tell you absolutely everything, but I'm going to give you kind of the brief rundown because I don't want to waste and bore you guys' time for the 30 or 40 minute video. And also, I'm just tired of talking about this. The last week or so, it's been an absolute nightmare for me trying to figure out shit for this. And then the past 24 hours, I'm just sick of talking about this. And so, yeah, I'm going to be really brief about this whole thing, but pretty much I dropped the car off in August. I had to basically drop it off because I was moving out of my shop and I was moving out of state. I could have taken the car with me if I absolutely had to, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't really have a good place to keep it. And then it's so much further for me to transport it from here in Chattanooga than it was in Bowling Green. For me to get it from Bowling Green to Louisville, which is where Destin was at, it was only an hour and a half drive. And so I was like, okay, before I move, if I get the car up there, that's a lot of hassle off of my shoulders. Destin agreed that it was totally fine to drop the car off with him then. And so that's what I did. And that hour and a half drive, unfortunately for me, turned into a 12.5 hour drive because I had a bunch of issues with my truck. And if you guys saw the video, it was a nightmare for me to get the car up there. And now it obviously sucks that it was all for nothing. But yeah, the car was dropped off in August and not super long after that, which I'd been made aware by Destin that he was having a few issues with his employer. So I did mention this in another video. The car was moved from the shop that I dropped it off at to Destin's personal garage. And basically, long story short, he was having issues with the employer, left that job, went to another job. They had supposedly agreed that he could keep the shop, and then, you know, his boss decided that he wanted to just change the locks and take back ownership of that shop, and so Destin had to move everything out. He told me that the car was loaded on a flatbed and took to his house, and that it was supposedly unloaded just outside of the neighborhood because the truck couldn't get over the speed bumps, which to me doesn't make any sense because the car definitely couldn't get over the speed bumps. Honestly, I have no idea whether it was driven or not. I really hope that it wasn't driven because it has an overheating issue, which I believe is just the thermostat. But at the same time, I still don't want the car driven. It definitely has a wheel bearing issue. It's not aligned. It should not be driven at all. But that's me speculating. I have no idea for sure. He told me it was on a flatbed, so I'll take his word for it, right? This wasn't a big deal to me. I'm an understanding person. I appreciate transparency, but I wasn't told about this until like a week after it happened. I would have preferred to have been, you know, text or called like, hey, this shit is happening, just letting you know. That would have been totally fine with me. But I understand when shit happens, you try to just get stuff done first, and then once it's out of the way, then, you know, communicate it, whatever. That's fine, wasn't a big deal. In September, before the car was moved, I did actually go up to that shop and do a little bit of fiberglass work on the car because Destin won't do fiberglass. And the whole time, Destin had been adamant that we could get the car done for Gatlinburg. And I was like, you know what, dude, I don't want to like push it. I don't want to put pressure on you. I don't need the car to be done for Gatlinburg. Like, sure, it would be nice and we can aim for that. But if it doesn't happen, it's not a big deal. And, you know, he even said it on camera that he was confident that we could get the car looking right for Gatlinburg. And you know, off camera, once I had left there, I kind of came to the conclusion that even if we could get it done for Gatlinburg, I wasn't going to have the money because with Gatlinburg coming up, I have to put a ton of money into inventory for my business. And I have to prioritize that. And so I told him, I was completely honest with him the entire time about anything that was going on with me, any financial stuff, anything that could, you know, present an issue. I've just been very honest in communicating that. And so I told him up front, look, I'm not going to have the money before Gatlinburg to like pay you to do this. And so I don't want you to go out of your way, do all this work, and then, you know, me essentially screw you over because I don't have the money right then. He was like, dude, no, it's no problem. Like, I can just do everything and then you can just pay me after Gatlinburg. And I was adamant. I was like, please don't, just leave it until Gatlinburg. After Gatlinburg, we can talk about making a plan and figure it out. And we left it at that. And so sometime in between, I don't remember the timeline exactly when the car got moved, but obviously after I got back from Gatlinburg, I made a trip up there because I had my wheels and I wanted to test fit them on the car. I also had another thing that I had to do, which I haven't talked about yet. I actually took all of the air suspension off of the car and put coilovers on it. I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, I had to go and do all of that. And so I went up there to visit. The car was in his personal garage. That was no problem. It really wasn't that big of a deal to me. And he had told me this whole, you know, story about what the plan was, that he was working at a new shop that does custom work and that they could, you know, he could do side work there outside of, you know, his actual job there, all this stuff. And that sounded pretty promising. He said that the body guy was coming the next day to look over the car, check it out, figure out what needed to be done, and actually make a plan. And I was like, awesome, just keep me updated. The next day, late in the evening, I texted him and was like, hey, did the body guy come over? Like, what did he think? Blah, blah, blah. No response. A week later, I did the same thing. I texted him to just follow up. I didn't really hear anything. And, you know, I texted him again, and he eventually got back to me, and he said, yeah, the guy came and took a look at it. He's making a plan, figuring it out, and I think over the next month, he's going to be getting everything squared away. And he said, you know, just plan to maybe budget $1,000 for this next month. So, like, in a month's time, give him $1,000 so he could pay the body guy for all the work that he did on the car for the labor, blah, blah. I was like, that is totally fine. Just keep me updated. At this point, I had given him, I think, $700 or $800, which was for base materials. And so that's for sandpaper, any kind of filler or like glaze stuff, just basic stuff that you need to do body work. That's totally fine. And so up to this point, you know, I'm convinced that stuff is about to start getting moving on the car and that I would get updates. I don't hear anything for a couple of weeks. It starts getting towards the end of November, which is the time frame where I was expecting, like, hey, he's going to be finishing up with bodywork stuff. So I start reaching out to Destin again. I'm like, hey, is there any updates? Blah, blah, blah. And I didn't hear anything. He did not text back at all. And I was like, okay, I mean, that's a little weird. I would assume that if stuff had been done, he would be texting me saying, like, hey, can you send me money so I can pay this guy? And he hadn't. So I just assumed nothing had been done. And before this, he had told me, like, the rough plan was do that. Then in December, he's going to get to blocking it. And then in January, it can roll into the paint booth. And he's juggling a few other different jobs. And so he told me, like, the time frames on those as well. And I was totally fine with that. That's fine. You can get the car in the booth in January. And, you know, if we plan to get it back to me at the end of January, that works out. And so, yeah, it's November, going into December at this point. I text him maybe every couple of weeks for an update and hear absolutely nothing. I really didn't see him on social media or anything. I assumed that he was just like super, super busy with everything, trying to get stuff done. And that's totally fine. I'm not going to bother the guy, but, you know, it'd be nice to get some kind of an update or just know that maybe something's been started. But whatever, I left it alone. And over December, Christmas period, I didn't reach out to him because, you know, it's family time. I want him to go spend time with his family, do whatever. But I started getting a little bit concerned because I hadn't heard anything. So I spoke to a few other people and just kind of asked, like, hey, you know, what should I do? And, you know, some people had been like, yo, dude, go get your car, go, you know, go see what's going on, blah, blah. I'm like, I mean, it's like a 5-6 hour drive up there. I can't just go up there and, like, you know, show up uninvited and just check on shit. And also, if nothing's been done, like, that would be a huge waste. And it's just like, people told me to go get the car. Me wanting to give the benefit of the doubt, as always, that's what I did. I waited out and see what was going on. And, you know, first or second week of January, I reached out, sent him a text, like, hey, hope you had a good Christmas, blah, blah, blah. Like, how is everything going? Is the car doing good? And he did text me back, like, the next day and say, hey, life's been, like, super difficult, been juggling a bunch of stuff, blah, blah, blah. Just giving me an update on his life, to say that it's like super stressful and busy, but didn't say anything about the car. He alluded to the car, and I was like, that's fine. The first time it happened, I was like, that's fine. I understand he's stressed, he's busy. But the next time that I texted him a week later was like, hey, I think I'd asked him about something else related to the car. And again, I got a response that was completely about what's going on in his life and nothing to do with my car. And I was like, well, this is really weird that he is just like avoiding saying anything about the car. And so I'm getting really concerned at this point because I've had no update from him in months. He has avoided texting me back in months. And when I do hear from him, he's just telling me how, like, crazy life is, how stressed he is, blah, blah, blah. And this is the first or second week of January. And so, yeah, it's not until a week ago, January 20th, I get a text from him basically telling me, hey, I can't do the car. My landlord is selling the house. It's completely fucked me over. Come get the car this weekend. And I'm on my way to Florida at this point for GTR World Cup. It's a work thing for me. I can't just up and go get the car. Most people can't. I live, like I said, 5 or 6 hours away. I can't just go and get it. You know, I was really reasonable with him. You know, he was like, dude, I don't want you to, like, be upset with me. I don't want you to hate me. Like, this sucks. I hate having to do this. And, like, dude, I totally understand. I know that this fucking sucks. And, you know, I was like, is there anything that we can do? Can I help? Is there something that we can do to make this work? I want you to paint the car. We've talked about this for a long time. And he was like, trust me, man, I've been trying to figure it out, all of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, if there is anything, let's make it work. If there isn't, no big deal. I'll figure out a plan in the next week or so to come get the car. We'll figure it out. Um, and so after that, I didn't really hear anything back from him. And I started, seeing and hearing some things. Chandler, another guy whose car was there, he went and got his car and basically told me that Destin didn't show up. His car was just left in the garage, unlocked with the keys in it. I was like, okay, that's really weird. Like, Destin had some excuse for not being there, and I was like, you'd think he'd show up. I was like, okay, whatever. And then just like a couple little other things. I sent him a text on Saturday and said, hey, I've made a plan to come get the car on Thursday. Lane's gonna go pick up a trailer. Is that okay with you? Can you have cash for me? And no response, no text back. Monday I texted him and I was like, hey, I need to know ASAP because Lane has to go out of his way to get this trailer. I just need to know what's going on. At this point, I already knew that he hadn't paid Chandler back. And let me just premise that Destin actually, when he sent that text saying like, hey, I can't do it, he said, I will give you your money back. He said the same thing to Chandler. Sorry, I hadn't mentioned that till now. A little weirded out that I wasn't getting any response and I'm supposed to be coming like super far to come get the car. And so finally on Monday, he texts me back and he's like, hey, yeah, that should be fine. I'll give you a call later and we can go over the details. I'm like, okay, you didn't really answer the questions that I had. You just said it's okay. You didn't say anything about the cash. So I'm assuming we'll talk about it when you call me. And later comes around, no call. I try to give him a call, no answer. The next day I text him and I'm like, hey, I just really need to know what's going on. I can't have Lane go and get this trailer if I don't know from you that we can 100% come and do this. Can you please call me today? He's like, yeah, I can call you, after 7 today. This is on Tuesday. I'm like, perfect. That would be great. I'd appreciate that. 7 o'clock runs around, doesn't call me. I try to call him, no answer. Later that evening, I'm like, okay, fuck this. I'm gonna just keep trying to call him. I call him like 15 times back to back, no answer. The next day, I wake up with a text from him saying that, sorry, I fell asleep. I left work feeling super sick. I guess I have COVID. Been asleep ever since. I'll call you today. I'll try to call him. As soon as I see this text, I get no answer. So I text him like, dude, I've been super nice up until this point, but this is getting like really concerning. Lane is going out of his way to get a trailer. We are driving super far to get a car. I need to know that you're going to have cash. I need to know that the car is there. Everything is together for the car. And you are like being really difficult to communicate with. I said, if you left work at 3 o'clock because you were feeling sick and you went home to pass out, at some point during that, you could have texted me or called me or whatever and just said, hey, I can't have a call tonight. Like, I'm not feeling good, blah, blah, blah. But you did not. And it's this lack of communication throughout this entire thing that has been really concerning for me. And so, yeah, I then decided to blow him up again and try calling him. And he eventually answers and he's basically just super defensive and like, well, dude, like, what do you want me to tell you? And I'm like, dude, I have no guarantee that when I come and get this car, you're not just going to disappear with my money. There's absolutely nothing that guarantees that. And he's like, well, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm like, I want to know that I'm going to get my money back for this when you've promised it. And I really don't appreciate how difficult it has been to get in contact with you. Like, this is important. I have to come get my car. I'm traveling from really fucking far away. I don't just want to show up and have some kind of issue, you not be there. And I said, if you have COVID and you're at home, why can't you be there on Thursday? Because he'd already given me an excuse as to why he won't be there. And he's like, well, I don't live there anymore. I'm like, what do you mean you don't live there anymore? He's like, yeah, I'm back in Illinois. I'm like, you didn't think to tell me this? And he was like, well, dude, I found out January 2nd that I have to move out because my landlord's selling the house. I'm like, you found out January 2nd and I am not hearing about it until January 20th. Why? And it just, I don't even need to go into any more detail. Like, that is just the premise of this whole thing, is that, I've put my neck out for this dude so many times. I've defended him. He has had a terrible reputation in the past, and I've given him the benefit of the doubt. He has told me his side of the story on so many different things, and I've believed him like a fucking idiot. And I think that a lot of this comes down to he just doesn't know how to communicate. I think when something gets too much for him, he just avoids any kind of dealing with it whatsoever. And it's not until it gets to the absolute worst point that he then decides he has to figure out something. And it's always just abandoning shit, giving up on stuff. Like, I am a reasonable human being. If there is something going on, like his job situation, where he was honest about that, I'm understanding. If there are things that are going wrong, things that are difficult, you're struggling, you can't do it, you can't take on the project, just tell me. I feel like he's known for months that he wasn't going to be able to do this project, and it was just stringed along for no reason. And here I am, sitting here months and months later, having to figure out what the fuck to do. And it's insane. I'm super bummed, pretty upset. And, up until really within the past few days, I've been very reasonable with him. And it's just gotten to a point where I can't deal with that shit. Like, it's not that hard to communicate. It's literally not that hard to say yes or no to a question. Everything has just been avoided, and I've just been given the runaround, and I'm not dealing with it. Yeah, Destin, if you are watching this, I'm sure you're gonna have something to say about it. With every time that a customer has complained about something, you seem to have been online very vocal about it, being super defensive and giving your side of the story. And I already have a pretty good idea as to what your side of the story is going to be with this, is that you're going to tell me that I didn't give you any money to get stuff done. But the reality is I was honest with you about everything to do with the financials, and you have $700 or $800 worth of my money, which you've said has been spent on materials. But when I asked about the materials, where are they? I can't get a picture of the materials, can I? Where's $800 worth of body filler, glaze, and sandpaper? And same thing for Chandler. That $2,000 was for materials and nothing was done on his car. Yeah, this is a real big shame. I know that the kid is capable of painting. I just think that his business management is awful, and his communication skills are seriously lacking. And this is ridiculous. The fact that my car was abandoned in a garage, unlocked with the keys in it. He just moved. Didn't think to tell me January 2nd, hey, my landlord's selling the house, I'm trying to figure something out, we're going to try and make something work for your car. He didn't think to tell me that at all. He just waited until January 20th, when he had no other choice because he had a week to move out, to be like, hey, come get the car. It baffles me that I can be the most reasonable person ever with somebody and still get absolutely fucked. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. I apologize that obviously the car is not done. I know that that's what a lot of you guys wanted to see, and of course, more than anybody, that's what I wanted to see. That's not the case, but I do have a plan. I do have an idea as to what is going to be happening with the car. It's going to be considerably more expensive and take a lot longer, but it is going to get done. It is going to be fucking perfect. Everything that I wanted for this car, I'm not going to stop until it is the way that I want it. And I've done so much work and put in so much time and money and effort into this car over the years. I'm not just going to give up on it. And so, yeah, money-wise, it doesn't look that great because this is just... it's so expensive, and I make very little to no money. I actually don't really pay myself from the brand at all. I know that I do this full time, but I just take on little side video and photo gigs that pay my bills, and then the brand basically helps pay for the car and helps to keep the brand moving. But I'm happy to announce that in this video, there is a new drop coming at the end of February, the last day of February, which, off the top of my head, is it the 29th? There's no 30th and 31st, or is it maybe just no, oh fuck, I sound like such an idiot. The last day of February, there's a new drop coming. I'm very excited to announce that this year I will be doing monthly drops at the end of every month, and this is so that I can focus my time on making better quality media, and less of my time into managing and running the business. A few little things will change, but the quality of merchandise is only going to get better, the designs are only going to get better, and there's going to be more of them. And so hopefully you guys are excited about that, and if you guys haven't already yet, please go and grab one of these VIP modular shirts. It's the collaboration for the wheels on the car, which The next video is actually going to be me putting the wheels on the car at my house and slamming it on the coilovers. I will address that. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can take this L and turn it into a W. This has been a mess and a huge headache on me, and I'm stressed enough about everything in life. But we'll figure this out, and at the end of the day, the message is that just be a good person, be honest with people, be humble, communicate what's going on in your life, especially if you run a business. People are understanding. I've had plenty of issues in the past with stuff to do with my business. Maybe I've been slow on shipping an order out, somebody hits me up. I'm just honest with those people, and they understand. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in a video real soon.